What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Happy Sunday. It is week 13 of the NFL regular season. Welcome in, guys. Breaking news coming out just recently. News that Big Ben has officially decided to retire, or not officially, but news that he is coming out to retire. Got to be a good day for the Steelers fans. No disrespect to Ben, but man, he just not the QB he used to be. You could tell that his mobility and his arm is no longer what they used to be. Overall, he's a great quarterback overall. But they've got to be happy to be moving on. Not too sure who's going to be replacing him, but just to highlight his season, this guy was the third QB selected in the NFL or in the 2004 NFL draft. He's managed to outlast both Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers. They were also taken in that draft. I believe they may have been taken ahead of him. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that, but he did manage to outlast both Eli and he also managed to outlast Eli, and he managed to outlast Phillip Rivers. I apologize, trying to get the feed out there. per Adam Schefter, this is what's happening. He's retiring. He said that apparently there's no official announcement, but reportedly someone within the organization has been told by him, as well as some of his ex-teammates have been told as well. He's unlikely to play a 19th season after this. Shout out to Big Ben, 3 Super Bowl starts. He won 2 of them. One of those he led a game-winning drive to defeat the Cardinals in Super Bowl 43. I'll always remember that one. That was a very historical drive in Super Bowl history. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler. He's 8th all-time on the touchdown passes list, sitting at 410 all-time passing touchdowns. 6th in all-time passing yards. I mean, listen to this. Dude threw for 62,870 yards. He very well will probably hit the 63,000 mark by the end of this season. And obviously we'll have more than 410 passing touchdowns hopefully by the end of this season. But he is supposedly not coming back. Again, no official announcement. But he has been apparently talking with the organization of the Steelers, letting them know, hey, I'm not planning to return this next season. He's announced before that he was going to retire, came back, took a pay cut, decided he wanted to play a little bit more. I think this time he is going to be officially done. His arm's just not what it used to be. He's not mobile. Mother time gets you. It just happens. Great QB though, and a hell of a run. Kudos to him. Question is though, who are the Steelers looking at for their backup? Who would be like a option? I just did a little bit of diving before the show here, just kind of seeing, who that might be. 3 names that seem to pop up on everything. Again, I mean, with it being brand new, this is all just speculation. There's no way to know what they're actually planning on doing this upcoming offseason. There's a lot of things left to play out. But the one that seemed to pop up the most was Aaron Rodgers. That would be a viable option for them. The question is, though, would Aaron Rodgers want to go play in Pittsburgh? You got to think about it. Aaron Rodgers is a free agent this offseason. Will he remain in Green Bay after the previous offseason and all the issues that came with it? I really hope he stays in Green Bay, but if he leaves, I don't see him leaving for Pittsburgh. I see if Rodgers leaves, he's going to leave for 2 reasons. He's going to either leave for big money or a chance to win a championship. I don't know if the Steelers are quite there yet. Their defense is one of the worst. It's definitely sub-average defense. It is not a great defense. Therefore, Aaron Rodgers would have weapons on offense, but I just don't know if this is where he would necessarily want to go. Another name that's been tossed around is Jameis Winston. He did sign that 1-year deal with the Saints this offseason to play with them. And prior to his injury, Jameis Winston was looking very good. The real question is, though, does he leave New Orleans just because he's a free agent? Kind of the same question with Rodgers. Would Rodgers leave Green Bay? Surely Green Bay is going to throw the kitchen sink at Aaron Rodgers to keep him. Will New Orleans do the same with Jameis? I think that Jameis will get a good deal in New Orleans. He played very well. I don't really know who else New Orleans would roll with. I mean, Taysom Hill is good, but he's not who you want to roll with. He's not your franchise guy. So Jameis could be an option there in Pittsburgh if he doesn't renew with the Saints. Realistically, Jameis Winston seems like the free agent that, if he does not stay with the Saints, would be the option here. I'm not sure where else he would really have to go, maybe a Carolina or something like that. But they're kind of bogged down as well over there. I think that Jameis Winston could be a good option for the Steelers if they can manage to pry him away from New Orleans this offseason. That's if New Orleans even wants to go with them this offseason. Free agents aside, if that's not going to work, if you're not going to be looking to get a free agent this offseason and pay somebody some free agent money to bring him in as the QB, if the Steelers are not necessarily in a win-now mentality, which may be the case considering the fact that their defense needs to be rebuilt, I think that their offense is good. They've got Chase Claypool. They've got Najee Harris back there. I mean, you throw in, a good quarterback in the mix, and your offense looks really good. Problem is, though, is their defense is still being rebuilt right now. So if they stay out of that win-now mode at this present time, they could be looking at a turn to the draft, and maybe Malik Willinson was from Liberty University would be one that they could be looking to sign or pick up in the draft. He's, from what I'm seeing so far, he's considered the most physically talented QB of this year's draft. He's apparently got an A-plus arm, and he's very mobile. Obviously, quite the opposite to Ben Roethlisberger right now, who is not mobile and arm is terrible. Obviously, old age. Don't want to bag on the guy too much. I mean, he's a great player in the grand scheme of things. He's done a lot of great things for the game of football. However, he's just old, and it's that time, and they could be moving on to something that's completely the opposite of him, which would be a strong arm and very mobile. I think he's an option for the Steelers. I think he's technically the best option. I don't think the Steelers have everything in place to be able to win right now. So why go spend a lot of money on Aaron Rodgers this offseason? Because you're going to have to do everything you can to pry him away from Green Bay this offseason, unless he's already made up his mind, which from what it seems like, he looks like he's maybe wanting to stay in Green Bay. That being said, though, I mean, turn into the draft with Malik Willis, that could be something that plays out for him. But also, too, we also got to look at what's going on right now with the current rookie QBs. I mean, only really one of them seems to be playing well. Obviously, Malik Willis would be handed the keys to the kingdom right away. We saw how that worked out for Zach Wilson. I mean, do they want to go that route? I don't know. It's up in the air. We'll obviously find out in the coming weeks and months on what the Steelers are looking to do. I'm sure there'll be rumors all over the place of trade potential and this and that, and a lot of it's probably going to be noise. A lot of it's probably not going to be legit conversation. But these could be 3 viable options for them. Just depending on which approach they want to take moving forward. Do they think they have the pieces to win now, or do they think they still need to keep building? If they think they need to keep building, I don't think it's going to hurt them to go to the draft and give that a shot. Speaking of the win now mode, real question on hand. We're going to switch gears here. Is will the Detroit Lions win a football game this year? So far, they have yet to win. They're not completely defeated. They did tie in one game. And who did they tie? I don't remember. Oh, they tied the Steelers. They tied the Steelers one game this season. They've lost every other game since then. Will they win? Let's break it down. I looked at their remaining schedule that they do have. Obviously, they've got 6 games left, right? 6 games on the season for them left, right? So, very first game that they've got today is the Vikings coming into town against them. I think it's very doubtful that they get their win today. The Vikings are the best sub 500 team, I guess you could say. I saw some ranking about that. Somebody ranked them the best sub 500 team, which, by the way, is a joke. It's like a moral victory there. It's doubtful that they get the win over the Vikings, though. Even though the Vikings are sub 500, they can win. They've beaten the Packers. But they've also had some nasty losses too. I don't think the Vikings are going to lose to the Lions. I think they're in too good a form for this season right now to lose to the Lions. This is a divisional rivalry, though, so you never know. Never know how the chips fall with that. I just don't see it happening. Next week, they're going to be traveling to Denver to go play the Broncos. I think this one is going to be one of their few chances they have to actually get a win this season. Before the season wraps up. They do have a chance, but the Broncos have been good at times. They did beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Broncos are kind of similar to the Vikings. They're not a great team, but they're not a bad enough team to where I think that they would lose to the Lions. However, I do think they got a shot against the Broncos. I think they got a better shot against the Broncos than they do the Vikings. So that could be a realistic possibility right there for them to get a win next week. I don't think it's going to happen this week. Maybe next week. Week after that, on December 19th, the Cardinals come into town for them. There's not a chance in hell that the Lions are getting their win with the Cardinals coming into town. So if they don't have a win in this week or next week, they're damn sure not going to have a win after December 19th, and that's going to leave them just 3 chances. However, I think the Lions are getting a little bit of Christmas magic on their schedule. December 26th, they are traveling to play the Falcons. Santa has essentially graced the Lions with a wonderful present. Even though they're losing, they must be on his nice list because they're getting a great Christmas magic or matchup, and maybe, just maybe, they'll have a little bit of Christmas magic to be able to get their first win on the season if they don't have one by that point, which, like we said, if they don't beat the Broncos, I don't think they're going to have one, and that's going to be realistically probably their last chance to get a win for this season, or they will end up probably remaining completely defeated. After that, they're traveling on January 2nd to bring in the new year to go to the Seattle Seahawks. I don't foresee them winning in Seattle. Russ Wilson, he's gonna be back to form by this point. The Seahawks aren't great this year per se, but I don't believe that they're bad enough to lose to the Lions. And then the Lions wrap it up on January 9th with the Packers coming to town. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased being a Packers fan, but it's the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I don't think the Lions have a chance in hell, even though it is a divisional rivalry. The only way they have a chance is if Green Bay has locked down the number 1 seed and they just don't play anybody. That is the only way the Lions could possibly come out on top with that game. So realistically speaking, they've only got maybe 2 more chances to cash in on a win with the way their team's been playing. The Broncos are a possibility, but I don't foresee that actually happening. Their best chance to get that win is going to be pulling off some Christmas magic on the day after Christmas when they travel down to Atlanta and play the Falcons. What a dumpster fire, man. They have played awful all year, obviously. I'm really curious, though, if they do manage to win a game. They've had times where it's been close and almost pulled it off, and then just way the cookie crumbles at the end, they end up losing it. Real question, though, is will they manage to win a game? I certainly hope not. As a Packers fan, I love to see division opponents struggle. For the Lions fan base, I am praying for you guys. Hang in there. I know it's been a long run. You guys and Cubs fans, y'all seem to be having the worst luck. At least the Cubs have won a championship recently, although it took them over 100 years to do so. The Detroit Lion fan base, y'all haven't won shit recently, so y'all have nothing to go off of. Praying for you guys. Moving on. We got the NFL Power Rankings for this week coming in at number 10. Surprise, surprise, the Dallas Cowboys. This is all pre-Thursday Night Football as well. So I know as soon as I say the Cowboys, everybody, they just won. They just won the other night. They won the other night. They beat, who did they play the other night? They played, the Saints. That's right. They played the Aints. Get out of here. The Saints they played the Saints without Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill looked like a Madden character. He looked like a 10-year-old played in Madden with Michael Vick. It was, I enjoy watching him play. He's not a franchise QB, though. It's just not going to happen. But this was all pre-Thursday Night Football here. The Dallas Cowboys pulled in to the power rankings at number 10. They slid from number 5. They were on a little bit of a skid there. Lost to Denver, Kansas City, Vegas. I was really surprised by the Vegas loss. I thought for sure the Cowboys were going to pull that off, I thought they would end up winning that game. The Raiders, they're a decent team, but I don't think they're good enough to where they should have beat the Cowboys. Derek Carr did play well. Derek Carr's been having a pretty decent season with all the distractions going on within the locker room of that organization. I was really surprised. That being said, the Cowboys did slide from 5 to 10 with that ugly loss to the Raiders. They obviously are going to move up. They won this week. However, they played the Saints. I don't think they're going to move up too much. Probably going to see them heading to like maybe the 8th or 7th spot of the power rankings when they drop here on Tuesday. Sliding up from number 13, which I find really crazy that they had them at number 13, considering the fact that they're one of the better teams in the AFC. But, they also have had their moments where they don't look good, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. They did slide up from 13th to 9th in the power rankings. They came together last week, had a good, they're playing well. They're on a 2-game win streak. The real question is, can they keep it going? I like the Bengals a lot. I'm becoming a little bit of a secret closet fan of the Bengals. I like watching Joe Burrow play, and I really like Jamar Chase. I think that he is I think he's a baller. I like Joe Mixon as well. I think they have a good mix on offense. They're fun to watch. Um, Kind of secretly pulling for him a little bit. Um, Coming in at number 8, sliding all the way from 3. It's going to be the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are absolutely struggling right now. They're injury riddled like crazy. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry. Um, they're hurting. Tannehill is not a man that's going to be able to be a one-man pony and do this all himself. They will struggle while these guys are out. They may be getting A.J. Brown and Julio Jones back down the line, which if so, that'll be big for them. They've got to hold on in the meantime. Right now, they're 8-4. They slid from that number 3rd rate. Crazy fact, though, Derrick Henry hasn't played since his injury, obviously. He's still the 2nd leading rusher in the league. That's how great of a season he was having. I really hate to see that guy's season get derailed because he was just crushing on offense, just running the ball down people's throats, just running people over, doing whatever it takes to get them yards. He's a big loss for the Titans. This when they started slipping, you add in the other injuries, it becomes real slippery. Moving up from number 12, they have been on a bit of a skid. Lost to the Jags and the Colts, but they did come back and beat the Dolphins, Jets, and Saints. The Buffalo Bills are starting to regain some of their respect back after being beat 9-6 by the Jaguars. They're moving up from number 12 to number 7. They've got a big matchup this week against the Patriots. I think that's going to be a good one. We'll get into that more later, but they have slid up from the number 12 spot. They have yet to have defeat a big-time opponent other than the Week 5 win against the Chiefs, and that's really concerning. They got blown out by the Colts. Granted, this was the Colts of now, not the Colts of the beginning of the season. The Jags, on the other hand, dude, I don't know what the fuck happened with that one. They cost me about $1,100, though. I do know that on a Survivor pick. I'm still pissed about the Bills. I did pick the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, but at this point, they're pretty much dead to me because I didn't pick them to win the Super Bowl. I got to stay with my number 1 Packers to win the Super Bowl, But I did pick them to make it. I didn't pick them to win it, so I could really give it rat's ass if they actually make the Super Bowl. They lost me a lot of money by losing to the Jaguars. They're dead to me. I hope the Patriots kick the shit out of them tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. Bills are dead to me, but they are at number 7 in the power rankings. Number 6 in the power rankings, moving up from number 7, that's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They have seemed to have found their stride a little bit more as the season progresses. They had a rough start. I don't know if it was all the outside noise. I don't know what was going on. That being said, they're winning with their defense, allowing less than 12 points per game in the past 4 games. That is how they're getting it done. Their offense still not the greatest. They only have 1 game in the past 5 where they scored more than 20 points. So it's really crazy to see the turnaround of the Chiefs defense. They were essentially worst in the league at the beginning of the season. They're currently one of the best in the league for the last 4 weeks. They keep that up. They can keep it moving. Patrick Mahomes still hasn't quite figured it out yet, but the Chiefs defense is pulling it together. If they can get Mahomes also on the same page, Super Bowl bound at that point. It's crazy to think that the Chiefs are one of the favorites right now to win the Super Bowl still. I don't think they've played well enough to prove that they should be a favorite to win right now. But for whatever reason, the odds makers got them that way. I don't know if it's the recent win streak that's got them going there. The way their defense is playing, and then maybe the experts are just expecting Mahomes to turn it on. They have struggled every bit of this way to a 7-4 record, but they are getting it done. All that matters is wins and losses. It don't matter about the points allowed, yards gained, yards allowed, none of that. All that matters is wins and losses. Did you get more points than the other team? That is the ultimate deciding factor, and right now they're 7-4, so they're sitting at number 6 in the power rankings. Sliding up to number 5 from number 9, and a team that I'm starting to get behind. a team that I'm really enjoying watching, and that's the New England Patriots. They're currently sitting at 8-4, sitting at the top of the AFC with a rookie quarterback. When everybody thought the Bills and Chiefs would be jockeying for that first and second spot, they've won 6 straight games now. Belichick has been quoted in the past saying that no stats correlate more than winning, or more to winning than turnovers. The Patriots have forced more turnovers than anybody else in the league. They are the number 1 scoring defense. After week 6, the Patriots were 2-4. They were -3 in the turnover differential. They are currently +10 on the season, and I apologize, I was incorrect. They are second best in the NFL. That their defense is a strong reason why they're on this win streak right now. It's crazy to think about it. Defense, they always say, wins championships. What's happening with these offenses that are struggling? Their defenses are keeping it in them. Chiefs, Patriots, Bills. Defenses are getting it done. I love to see it. Matt Judon, by the way, man, I bet the Ravens wish they would have re-signed him. He takes a monster deal with the Patriots and is on a season to remember. He will be a Pro Bowler coming up. Man, that New England Patriots defense is looking hot right now. Coming in at number 4, sliding up all the way from number 8. That's going to be the Baltimore Ravens. Right now, they have the best record in the AFC. They sit at the number 1 spot, closely followed by the Patriots. There have been times where they've looked rough getting to that top spot. Over the past 5 games, they've suffered their largest margin of defeat since they've had Lamar Jackson as a starter, which was a 24-point loss to the Bengals. And it's also produced 2 of its lowest point totals under his Jackson regime, per se. They had 10 points in Miami, and then they had 16 points against the Browns. Again, defense getting it done and reliable kicking. They could have been really crazy, or they could become really crazy down the stretch, get really, really good if Lamar Jackson and the offense start figuring it out, because that defense is balling. Moving up, number 3 this week, coming in from number 6 last week, the Temp Bay Buccaneers. They are currently 8-3. They're finding ways to keep winning games, even though they're struggling with injuries. They're having trouble on the road. At the end of the day, though, you've got to think about who's on this team. You've got Tom Brady, one of the best QBs to do it. Not the best. You got to give my man Aaron Rodgers props on that. But Tom Brady, one of the best to do it. He's got veteran Rob Gronkowski. They've got Ndamukong Suh, Leonard Fournette, and Levante David. I mean, the experience of these guys cannot go unnoticed whenever it comes to having guys out, having to persevere, having to utilize a lot of your young guys in that next man up mentality when guys have gone down. Obviously, they're dealing with the suspension of AB, Mike Edwards, due to them faking vaccination cards, supposedly, allegedly. I don't know if it's quite proven yet. Somehow they pull out a win this last week, double-digit deficit behind against the Colts, end up losing the game. Or they end up winning the game. Colts end up losing the game. Those guys right there, though, they are the core to this team. They're holding it all together, and they're the reason why the Bucs are currently sitting at the number 3 spot. However, I don't know how they're going to look down the stretch. They got a lot of injuries. They're having a lot of off-field antics going on with AB getting suspended due to his fake vaccine card. And let's talk about that for a second, too. Everybody's mad because he's getting suspended. Aaron Rodgers did not get any type of suspension. He just simply received a fine for not masking up during his media sessions. Let's think about it here. AB lied to the league. He lied to his team. Aaron Rodgers just lied to the media. He didn't lie to the team. Everybody in the building knew he was not vaccinated, and he followed every single protocol that there was to follow. AB, on the other hand, allegedly supplies fake documentation that he's vaccinated, lies to his team, lies to the league. Doesn't follow protocols as an unvaccinated player because of this. I think the suspension is rightful, and it is what it should be. That being said, though, can we just move on from this already? I mean, is it is it really that crucial on who's vaccinated and who's not? So there's some of these guys, like for instance, guys playing on the Bucks. They live in Florida. Florida is one of the most loose states when it comes to this thing. You know, what'd you expect? He's going to act as if who he's surrounded by. I think that the league just needs to turn it over to the team, say, hey, you decide what the best protocols are to follow based off of where you're at in your state, what your state feels comfortable with. Just go from there. It's just getting a little bit ridiculous. It's starting to create issues on why did this guy get suspended versus this guy? Why did this guy, da-da-da-da-da. We could end it all. Just let the players decide what they want to do. They want to be vaccinated. I want to be vaxxed. If you test positive, okay, don't play till you test negative. How, like, what? I don't know why that is such a hard concept. But nonetheless, Temp Bay Bucks are number 3. We'll get back to the power rankings for YouTube wants to cancel my show for going off the rails. Number 2 coming in, they dropped from number 1. The Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they look good as a team. They lost 2 of 3 games recently, and people are a little bit worried about their confidence as their team. Obviously, they had a bye week last week, so they couldn't really play to be able to combat dropping a spot in the power rankings. I think they're a very good team. People are worrying about them losing 2 of their games. One of those was against the Packers. The other game they had Colt McCoy. I mean, are they really that worried in Arizona? As a Packers fan, the Cardinals scare the shit out of me as a potential playoff matchup. If we were to run into each other, I would not want to play them and have to beat them a second time. They were a tough team to beat the first time through. I don't know why people are worried about them losing their 2 of 3 on that stretch there. They're a great team. They're going to continue to be great, and they're just going to be scary down the road. Due to no game, though, last week, only makes sense that they slide because last week, coming in at number 1, the Green Bay Packers put it on them. Just playing. No, we didn't. Did we? Yes, we did. They put it on the Rams. The Packers, dude, for have a second there, I was thinking we played the Vikings last week. I forgot we had beat the shit out of the Rams last week. I was like, why did we slide up? Then I remembered. Sorry, that's why I was having a little moment there. That being said, Aaron Rodgers and his COVID toe, broken toe, no toe, chop it off. Who gives shit? He's beating teams. He don't care. 36-28 over the Rams. And I remember, I believe last week's episode, I did call that. I did say that both teams were going to score over 28 points or more. Then I said that the winning team was going to have 34 or more. That final score was 36-28. I hit that one right on the head. I know my damn Packers. They put a stomping on the Rams to move up to 9-3 going into this week as a bye week. They've scored essentially over 30 points in each of the past 2 weeks. Even though they lost to the Vikings, they did score 30 points. Now they have a bye week to get a little bit healthier for this stretch run down the way. Most people like to have their bye weeks a little bit earlier than this. I think this is going to work out well for the Packers. It's perfect timing for our guys to get treatment, get healthy, to wrap out, into this season. Only got 2 more road games left, and one of those is going to be in Detroit. Should wrap this one out pretty well with the Packers, and they're looking damn good. As long as Aaron Rodgers keeps slinging that thing, the defense is looking good too. Rasul Douglas is looking like the pickup of the year for the Green Bay Packers. Guy is playing out of his mind this year. Absolutely great. The Bills, that match against the Bills last week, the Rams last week. I was looking at the Bills a second. The Rams last week.
On the go. And they work hard.
Man, what's going on with Rams?
Day trips, week-long road trips. That's what we do. And nothing gets in the way of our plans.
This is me personally.
So Chevron
We've
is
all
always
heard
part
the
of
phrase,
plan.
if it ain't
get
broke,
Chevron with Techron
don't
for
fix it.
unbeatable mileage. Plus,
The Los Angeles Rams
fuel for
were
them,
on a
fuel for
tear
me. Just one stop
At
gets
one
us
point,
closer to non-stop
They
adventures.
were 5-1,
Chevron,
and I was ranting that they
ahead.
were not in the top 5
I
in
gotcha.
the NFL power rankings. And then they go on to prove me absolutely wrong and
Is this
that they
a
shouldn't have been in the
foregone
top 5
conclusion? Were you under
in
the
the power
impression
rankings.
in October
They-
and November that this was
They
going to happen? There was
essentially
no way around this?
did what we always hear not to do.
Well, I'm
If
not
it
trying
ain't
to pat
broke,
myself on
don't
the back
fix it.
here, but
Why'd they
5
bring
years
in
ago
Von
to
Miller?
this day, the
Why'd they
last
bring
time a
in
collective bargaining
Odell
agreement
Beckham?
was successfully
As soon as they did
negotiated,
that, they have
I
yet
talked
to win a
with
game
people, and that night they said
with
a
those
labor
new
war
guys.
is coming. There is going to be a
Now, I
work
know it's
stoppage
Von
in
Miller. I know he's a
2021. The
superstar. I
fact
know
that
he's a great
that
defensive
long
player,
ago
and
they could
any
see
team would be
this
happy
on
to
the
have him.
horizon shows
I know
that the
Odell
chasm
Beckham's a
between
great
the two
receiver. I know
sides
he
is not
made the
something
one-handed
that has
catch
just
and then hasn't really done
instantaneously
shit
come
since
upon
then.
us. This is something that's been
Other than go
brewing for
party
a
on a
better
boat.
part of a decade now.
Get caught
And
doing some
this
blow
is
with
the
some
upshot.
stripper in a
Listen,
hotel
we've
room.
been here with Major League Baseball before. The amount of
And
work
they
stoppages
bring these
seemed like
guys in.
practically every
They're
year
great
in the
football players.
1970s and early 1980s.
So you bring them in
But the
mid-season.
fact that they've
You've
had
already got
more
the
than a
chemistry
quarter
going.
century of peace to
Your
this
team's
point
looking good.
really has gone a
You're
long way
rolling.
to
You've lost one
making
game.
people feel almost
You've
comfortable.
beaten the
And
Bucks.
I think the
You got to
players,
win over
Carl,
Tom
see
Brady.
this as a necessary reckoning for them to
And you
get
decide
back
that you
what they
need
have lost over the
to
years.
pick it up. I mean, I don't understand the move here for them to.
Since we last saw Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. Murray expected to get this.
I don't understand the move here to go get the pieces. I mean, I do understand you want to keep building, but look at what it's done. When you start bringing in other players, don't get me wrong, I'm sure some of the players are ecstatic to see that, mainly players that probably like don't play on that side of the ball per se, players that aren't going to lose their touches, things like that. It's a little bit, there will be a little bit of resentment amongst some of the players. You can't please everybody. And then does that trickle into everybody else? Now, I don't know if that's what's happening in Los Angeles, but something's going on because they have yet to win a game since bringing in new players. We'll see what happens, but that being said, we're going to move along from the power rankings. I'm just glad to see that my Green Bay Packers are coming in at number one. Once again, number one. You see the little ones right back here? Number one, baby. That's what the Packers are. Don't you forget. Moving on. Let's do our rookie QB check-in this week. This last one I'm going to do this week. I'm only doing 3 of these. A lot of the rookie QBs, man, I mean, it's cool to check them out, but most of them haven't been playing a whole lot, other than the ones we've already talked about. This one right here, though, by far best rookie QB that has been playing this season. He is a man that has came into New England and completely stole a job from Cam Newton, which is people are very, overlooking of the fact that he stole a job from Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a very, very good QB, has a very good history in the league. Obviously, he's struggling as of late, but he came in and stole a job from Cam Newton before the season even started. Wasn't even like he stole the job because Cam Newton was playing bad in the first couple weeks of the season. No, he stole the job whenever Cam Newton was playing decent in preseason, but Mac Jones was just playing better. Now, he is also a man who has looked great at moments and other times been accused of being a dirty player. We all saw what happened in Carolina with the ankle grab. It's a competitive game. Things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mac Jones. Mac Jones is having the rookie season to remember. After sliding to number 15 in this past year's NFL draft, he's managed to carry himself as a composed veteran. His numbers and his play have been greatly overshadowed by the fact that his defense lately has been playing amazing. They're the top-ranked scoring defense, and then also the overshadow of the fact that he's playing for Mr. Billy B himself. Due to this, him leading the Patriots to a top 10 scoring offense, a top-ranked offense in percentage of drives that end in points, has been very much overshadowed. He is top 3 in the league with completion percentage at 70%. The only 2 QBs that are completing passes at a higher clip than him are Kyler Murray, and very surprisingly, Tua is number 2 on that list. Obviously, the completion percentage doesn't always add up. He does have a 16-8, so a 2-to-1 TD to INT ratio. Anytime you're positive on that, that is good. He's about middle of the pack with the league, but he's best amongst the rookies when it comes to that, as well as his QBR. Overall, I'm thinking the Patriots, I think they won in this past draft. Bill Belichick had some real stones on him to sit there and wait, not give up anything, to trade up, sit at 15. His guy still falls to him. He takes Mac Jones, number 15 overall. Obviously, he seems to be the best QB that seems to be, or at least as far as performance goes right now. Over the long run, we'll see how that continues to progress. Ultimately, this is the QB that Bill Belichick wants, a game manager who lets the defense play good team defense, manage the game, limit offensive possessions for the other team. And right now it's looking good for them. Obviously, I still think they've got a lot of work to still do with him. But the Patriots, right now are currently sitting at top of the AFC. Technically, they're second, but basically the top of the AFC, top of their division. And it's due to the play of their defense and the fact that Mac Jones has proven to be able to effectively manage a game. They roll into this Monday Night Football with a huge playoff implication game against the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be definitely the game of the week to watch. It's on Monday Night Football. That's going to bring us up to our next segment here, and that's going to be our games of the week to watch. So this week, the games, man, I'm not really too thrilled with them. Not looking forward to a whole lot of them. But there are two that I have on my radar to watch today that are must check out if you've got the time to tune in. My Packers have already played. The hometown team, Cowboys, or my Packers have already played. They're on a bye. Packers are on a bye. I apologize. The hometown team, the Cowboys, who I'll tune into normally as well. They've already played. Got their win for the week. It's gonna be a little bit of a boring day over here, especially in our neck of the woods. Today, or let's start with the Monday night game because we were just talking about Mac Jones. Monday night, we've got the Patriots going to Buffalo. They're going to be playing against the Bills. That's what was playing. There we go. But the Patriots are going to Buffalo Bills, or they're going to the Buffalo Bills Stadium. This right here is going to be a very good game. Probably the best Monday night game so far for the league this season. I don't know what other Monday night games have they had. Let's look and see. 2021 Monday night games. Let's see. So, Monday Night Football so far. Raiders and Ravens, that was a good one. Green Bay and Lions, not a good one. Cowboys, Eagles, no. What else we got? We got Chargers. Raiders played twice on Monday Night Football. Chargers, Raiders, that's crazy. Ravens played again against the Colts, Titans, Bills. That was a good Monday Night Football game. That was probably been the best matchup of Monday Night Football so far. Let's see. New Orleans and the Seahawks, that wasn't really that great. Chiefs and Giants, nobody really cared. Steelers, Bears, again, nobody cared. Niners, Rams, another one. The Monday Night Football games have not necessarily been there, but this week we have one. Like we said, the Patriots going to the Bills. The real question is Mac Jones up to the task? Will either offense solve the defense of the other team? Bills are currently ranked first overall in defense in the league, and the Patriots are second. For those who like a defensive battle, this is going to be the game for you to watch. Make sure you're tuning in on Monday night. I'm going to give the edge, honestly, on this one to the Patriots. A lot of people are probably favoring the Bills just due to the experience of Josh Allen versus Mac Jones. That being said, the Bills, to me, have not looked that great at times. The Patriots are hot right now. They're led, by their soon-to-be Pro Bowl selection Matt Judon that we talked about earlier. I think this defense knows what they have to do to win with a rookie quarterback, and that's a way to find ways to score themselves, but also find ways to shut down that other team and ensure that you keep yourself in every game, so that way you continue to build confidence of that rookie quarterback. I think the Patriots defense is going to find a way to keep this close. I bet you they contribute a score, or they're going to contribute a turnover that leads to a score, and that's going to be the ultimate difference in this game. I think it's going to be close, but the Patriots are going to hold on to that division title when they leave Monday night. Patriots are taking this one. The Bills have been struggling as of lately. They've lost games that they shouldn't have. Like we said before, we thought they were going to ascend to the top of the AFC with the schedule they had. They have had one of the easiest schedules for the past 4 weeks, and they've struggled. Other hand, switching over game of the day to watch for us on Sunday today, that's going to be the Chargers at the Bengals, man. Both of these teams are sitting second in their respective divisions. Both are currently sitting in a wild card spot and not content with that, I'm sure. They probably, I'm sure, would both want to win their divisions. Kansas City has been picking up the pace, getting wins. Their defense has been coming alive. Offense still isn't there, but the Chargers need to find ways to keep winning in hopes that that defense falls apart before Mahomes figures it the fuck out. The Bengals are looking to stay hot. They've won 2 in a row. They want to get some help from the Steelers today that are playing against the Ravens. The Ravens are currently ahead of the Bengals in the race. The Bengals need to get a win, so that way if the Ravens drop one, they can beat jockey in for that first spot. Both the Bengals and Chargers, I think, have offenses with some good weapons. They're pretty even matched on that. They've both got good receivers. Chargers, Keenan Allen. Bengals, Jamar Chase, and I'm blanking on their other receiver. But then they've also got running back Joe Mixon. The Chargers got running back Austin Eckler. QBs, Herbert. And then you've got Burrow on the other side. Good, even matched offensive matchup here. But I think the Chargers just simply have been allowing too many points per game to get a win here. I think they're going to let this one slip away because the Bengals defense is a top 5 defense. I think that they are going to get a few key stops here and there. And if the Bengals can turn around and score, which they probably will because of the Chargers defense being subpar, that's going to be what sets them apart in this game. It will probably be a close one, but the Bengals will pull away simply due to a couple key stops probably from their defense. As we said, not a whole lot of games on the slates today. However, let's check out these playoff standings, what we're looking at right now if the season were to end. Coming into today, the Baltimore Ravens are sitting at the top of the American Football Conference, the AFC. They've got an outright ownership of that first spot. They're 8-3. They've got a division record of 1-1. Coming in at number 2 in the AFC is the New England Patriots. They're sitting at 8-4. They're currently 2-1 in their division. They got the tiebreaker over Tennessee just based on the head-to-head win percentage. That Monday Night Football win over the Titans, that 34-31 goal line stop is the difference right now in a 2 spot versus a 3 spot for the Tennessee Titans. Curious if the Titans would have opted to kick a field goal. I don't think it's really going to matter for the Titans in the grand scheme of things. They're going to start falling off here as they battle these injuries that they're going through. Number 3, as we just said, Tennessee Titans, 8-4. They lost that tiebreaker over the Patriots due to that Monday Night Football loss. Coming in at number 4, surprisingly, is the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how they've managed to make it to this point so far. They've got an outright spot on that one just simply due to having divisional lead. Those are your 4 divisional leaders for the AFC. Your wild card spots are getting wrapped up right now with the Cincinnati Bengals at 7-4, and the Buffalo Bills are also 7-4. However, the Bengals will get the tiebreaker right now over Buffalo. That's based on their win percentage in their conference games. Right now, conference play, the Bengals are 5-2, the Bills are 5-4. So they've got a better win percentage just due to the fact that they played less conference games. Bills are sitting at the second wild card spot. Still not a bad spot for. I mean, the AFC is going to be stacked all the way through the wild card. This division is insane, or this conference is insane. As far as like their top heaviness, and then like the difference between the top and the mid teams that don't necessarily make the playoffs but are right on the edge. Last wild card spot right now is currently belongs to the Los Angeles Chargers, but this is what's crazy. You have the Los Angeles Chargers that are 6-5. You have the Las Vegas Raiders who are 6-5. You've got the Denver Broncos who are 6-5. You've got the Indianapolis Colts who are 6-6. So, how do you decide who gets the top rank here? We'll break it down. So the Los Angeles Chargers have the top rank, or let's start from the lowest of the low on that, right? So of the 6-win teams, Indianapolis Colts are the lowest of that, and they win essentially. Technically, they have a 6 loss, so their win percentage is less. That's why they're out. So I take that back. It's really between 3 teams here: Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. They're all 6-5. So the Broncos are the third man out on this one. And what's the difference between the Raiders and the Broncos? Why are they both 6-5, but the Raiders above them? Well, the Raiders currently hold the tiebreaker over Denver based on their head-to-head win percentage. The Raiders did beat the Broncos earlier this season, and due to that, they're sitting over the Broncos. One of the Broncos lost to the Raiders. How are the Chargers over the Raiders? And how are they also over Denver? Well, they're over Denver and over Vegas, and it's strictly due to win percentage in division games. Right now in their division, the Chargers are 2-1. The Raiders are currently 1-2, and the Broncos are 1-1. That win percentage just is what the tiebreaker is on that one. That's why the Chargers have that last spot right now. So wrapping it up, if the season were to end today, it would be Baltimore, New England, Tennessee, Kansas City, Cincy, Buffalo, and Chargers. That would be an electrifying playoff bracket, and I would be tuning in to every game. Moving down to the NFC. The NFC is very, very top heavy. Very top heavy. So we're going to have to break it down for the last couple people, or the last spot, and why there's these different tiebreakers. First spot right now is going to the Arizona Cardinals, and that's because their win percentage is 818. If they lose this week, technically they would be tied with the Packers, and the Packers would have the tiebreaker based on their head-to-head game earlier this season. Packers are on a bye week. That's why they played one more game. Arizona had their bye week last week. Hoping for a loss today, but I believe they are playing the Bears. The Cardinals will probably still be sitting on top of the conference going into next week. But the Packers can always springboard up with some more wins and possibly another Cardinals loss along the way. Obviously, coming in at second is the Packers at 9-3. The Cardinals and Packers are the only 9-win teams right now in the NFC. Technically, the only 9-win teams in the league. The 2 best teams in the league right now are in the NFC. Now, the strongest conference right now, record-wise, from the looks of it, is the AFC. Based on how many teams have 8 wins, 7 wins, so on, versus the NFC. Coming in at number 3 is an 8-3 Tampa Bay Bucks team. And then number 4 seed would be the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, these are all your division leaders right there. First wildcard spot right now currently belongs to the Rams outright. They are a 7-4 team at the moment. Second wildcard spot is currently sitting with the San Francisco 49ers. We did say it would not be a surprise if you see 3 teams come from that West Division. Right now, that's the way it's looking if things were to end today. Sitting in number 7, surprisingly, is the Washington football team. But we've got a big tiebreaker here, or we've got a little bit of tie here. So there's 3 teams that are 5-6 currently that could technically qualify per se for that third wildcard spot. But what are the tiebreakers here? So you have Washington at 5-6, you have Minnesota at 5-6, you have Atlanta at 5-6. The reason why Washington sits atop those 3 teams is they have the tiebreaker over Atlanta and Minnesota based on the win percentage in their conference games. In the conference, they're 5-2. The Minnesota Vikings are 4-3, and the Falcons are 2-5 within the conference. The Falcons have managed to get the majority of their wins, it seems, from playing against the AFC teams, and they are kind of the odd man out here. Minnesota also holds a tiebreaker over the Falcons right now, and that's based on win percentage within the conference games as well. So Minnesota and Washington are probably looking like the ones that would land in that spot if they can keep winning. If Minnesota and Atlanta stay pace with each other, Minnesota will take the spot. But right now, it currently belongs to Washington, which is very surprising. I did not believe that we would see 2 teams from the East in the playoffs. I thought, possibly 2 teams from, the North, which is still a possibility, and 3 teams from the West, which is looking more and more like a lock each week. Never know though. Season not over yet. Season's about to end here shortly. Got a few, just a little over, I think, 4 weeks left now? 4 weeks. It's coming down to the wire for some of these spots. I'm curious to see these playoff races ensue. Curious to see, curious to see if who lands the number 1 spot, and most curious to see how my Packers do, obviously. But on the AFC side, I'm watching that Patriots team. I would love to see them finish season number 1 with a rookie QB. I've not been a huge Patriots fan in the past, but I do like the story of the fact that they could be doing this with a rookie QB. You guys make sure to tune into those games today. Peace.